Hello guys, welcome to a very special ET Live. We are here to break down all things Celebrity Big Brother with Queen of BB, Rachel Reilly.
The loaders grab a life bag!
Yes, one more time.
The loaders grab a life bag!
The most iconic line in Big Brother history.
Oh my God, thank you.
Yep.
I am Brice Sander.
I'm Katie Krause.
And should we just get right into it?
Yes!
You've already been in that house. You were there day one, premiere episode. I think we have some B-roll
There
of
you
your
are.
number.
Oh yeah!
What do you think of this season so far? I mean, you've been watching, you've been in the house.
It is so good. It is so refreshing
Yeah.
to see a Big Brother season where everyone's playing the game. I'm so excited that they are going in there, going hard.
Yeah.
They're all playing the game. They're all going for it. They're all like seeming like they really kind of know what's going on and they want to be there. And I love that. I love that we're watching them play. I love that we're watching them live. Just everything about this season has been epic.
Yeah. For you guys watching, make sure that you're sending in your questions, your comments. We're going to take them right here on this lovely iPad, and
Yes.
Rachel's going to answer them all.
Yes.
This season is moving so fast. We're basically getting 2 weeks of Big Brother every week.
Yes.
What do you make of this very fast?
So for me, I played for 76 days. And I think, twice. I know it's crazy. So I think it's so different to see a season where they're playing such a quick game.
Yeah.
And I see people like Shannon, I think they're really playing this quick game. But then you have someone like Ross, who I think knows it's a quick game, but is actually like holding it back a little bit. He's playing a little bit of a safer game, I guess.
Okay.
You still have to play Big Brother because there's still people that are getting evicted. You know,
Right.
it's twice a week, yes. But it's still going to be that like marathon. You know,
Sure.
Big Brother we say is a marathon, not a sprint. And like, Lord, it is a marathon because you're just, you know, in there so much dead time. They have less dead time. However, there's still like with Shannon's 16-letter word, I think that was a little too hard.
Yeah, I think it put a big target.
Huge
On her-
target.
It's the balance is a little off. Shannon's playing so hard so fast,
hard. I
and some people aren't playing hard enough yet.
Exactly, and I love watching that, and I love watching Shannon play so hard because as a fan, I love the competitiveness. I love watching players that are like going in there and they're going for it. But then there's also that balance between like, girlfriend, you're not on the block, like you just won the HOH, let's calm down.
Yeah.
And I say that because I did that my first season and I had to change it for when I went back and won.
Right.
I would have never won season 12 the way I was playing. But when I went back for season 13, I knew I had to be more of that marathon player, more of the making alliances, making the friends, not being the big threat, you know?
Right.
Yeah, we were saying that we were seeing shades of you in Shannon's gameplay.
100%.
That's the biggest compliment
And
ever.
spoiler alert, mute this if you don't want to know, but Shannon and James are currently on the block
Yes.
because Arianda is HOH and has put them up. What do you make of that? Are you upset?
So upset.
Yeah.
I'm really upset that the Girls Alliance didn't work out. I'm really
Yeah.
upset that this was something that they couldn't do because there's no showmances this season. What are you girls thinking? Like, I don't get it.
Let's get into that because we actually have the Girls Alliance kind of blew up when they got Chuck out and they flip-flopped on that
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah.
There's him leaving. He was blindsided. I talked to him right after this happened. He called it so crappy. He said the night before he was safe, woke up the next morning and no one could look him in the eye.
Oh, so he knew.
He knew. So he knew that day. And then when they all, the next
Yeah.
day, when they were playing for, was it POV or HOH that was Bowl Arena?
Oh, HOH.
HOH.
Yep.
And this Omarosa moment happened that was like, wow, we're just scorch earth policy.
Yes.
Check this out.
So you guys know the strategy of this? Yeah. Who to pick? One and four. Back and forth, or just keep picking her until she's right, then pick out.
Yeah.
Are you some? You just keep picking Omarosa until she's just say it out loud. Well, we can talk our strategy.
I just heard you say keep picking Omarosa. I just want to be clear that you are aggressively coming after them. And now that I've heard that now.
Why would Shannon so loudly say that, knowing that Omarosa was right there? I kind of feel like that was a big turning point for how things
I think
are
it's
right
a
now.
big turning point, and I think it was really, really stupid of Shannon to do
Yeah.
that. And I think she wasn't thinking, like, in the moment, you're thinking, okay, this is the gameplay because Omarosa's coming after me or after our alliance. But then you can't tell people that. Like, you have to say it in a closed door. You have to say it in private. I think that for Omarosa to hear that, like, man, the claws are going to come out for sure.
And it's also so strange because that it wasn't true. Shannon is in this like paranoid big brother state so fast that she thought this was true, when really Keisha and Omarosa had just been like hanging out with Chuck. They weren't making an alliance, no deals were made, nothing.
I think that for that, you just get in that house, it just changes your mindset to where you almost think that everyone's coming after you all the time. And if they're not talking to you, they're obviously talking about you. You just think that. So I think Shannon has gotten into the big brother mentality where she probably thinks everyone's coming after her. Being on the block's not going to help it. If she doesn't win POV, she's probably going to go home. But I think, like, in these situations, especially if you're a Shannon, you have to be really careful with how you say things. Like, instead of saying, go after Omarosa, she should have just been like, let's all split it up. Let's all play fair. You know what I mean? Like, whoever hasn't gone, like, she just needs to be a little more political about it.
Sure. As someone who has won the game and played twice, is it super infuriating to watch and see these mistakes play out? Are you and Brendan like screaming at your television while you're watching?
Literally screaming at our televisions. We are just so frustrated watching the mistakes getting played out. And it's also a point where you're just like, I know that they know better than that because they went in and she was like, this is how I'm going to play. I'm going to go in the diary room and tell you guys what I'm doing. I'm going to be in the house, be everyone's best friend. So you know that like her gameplay has just changed and she's not thinking. And I'm a huge fan of her because she's a competitive female, but it's just like I watch her make the same mistakes I made, so I literally am screaming at my TV every single week.
Yeah.
She told us when she was going to go in the house, she was like, I'm going to treat it as an acting role, play a part, and she didn't. She just
Is that because it just really switches like something in your brain? You get in there and you're just like, blah!
I think so, and I think that the fact that they made that Girls Alliance before the first HOH, I think that really kind of put that mentality into her head because I think she thought, okay, I have to win for the Girls Alliance. I have to do this. I have to do that. And now she's in charge of the first HOH, so she's getting the power and she's getting the blood on her hands and she's the one that they're like targeting James for, So I believe that in her mind, she's feeling that fight or flight. Like that really like, if I don't do this, I'm going to get kicked out of the house.
Yeah. We want to talk Omarosa, but so many questions coming in.
Yes, let's get to one or two of these right now. Alyssa wants to know, who do you think is playing the best game, if you had to call it?
If I was going to call it, the best game right now is Ross and Marissa, but I really think that Marissa's playing a better game because, to be completely honest, like, she's everyone's best friend, and everyone loves her. She's so funny. She's fun. She's competitive, but, like, she hasn't won anything yet, so you're not threatened by her.
Right.
And I almost think she's playing the best game because she's kind of everybody's friend right now.
Yes.
What did you make of her? Because she did actually win that veto that ended up sending Keisha home. Do you think she should have won? Because if she didn't, then the nominations could have stayed the same.
I was thinking about that. Well, this is the thing. It's kind of a veto that didn't matter because I think everyone knew they were going to send Keisha home.
Yeah, they had a discussion that morning.
I think that was the discussion. So because that was the discussion, it was kind of one of those vetoes where it's like, I'll win, keep the noms the same, Keisha's going home. It's one of those things where it's like a safe veto to win. So maybe that she's doing that so that in the end she'll have that check mark by her name.
I did.
Exactly. I did win when I needed to. Because I think it's smart of her to actually win something like that. And another thing, if she wins a HOH and sends Meta home, that's another one that's pretty safe for her, you know? So I could see her doing that.
All right, well, let's talk about Omarosa. The asthma attack scene heard all around. She played in the HOH comp, lost to Marissa, and then just immediately stepped out of the backyard into the house and went banging on that door, which, I don't know, if you have an asthma attack, I don't think you can huff your way across the house, bang on the door, and scream medic.
Yeah.
Did you think that was real, or did you think that was...
I thought that was Omarosa being Omarosa. Like, Omarosa, we know your number. Like, we get you. We've watched you. So I think that for her, that was her almost throwing a fit / trying to spin it around so that everyone feels bad for her. Because you guys remember in Celebrity Apprentice when she got injured? That was the thing for, like, the rest of the season.
Yeah.
It's her playbook, her reality TV villain playbook.
And she knows how to play reality TV. She is amazing television.
Here's a great moment of reality TV from Omarosa. Watch this.
It was a really rough night. I was admitted to the hospital, but we were able to get it, my asthma under control. This was a really scary experience. Thank God I am back in the game.
It's weird because she speaks so eloquently that she's so convincing.
Right.
And she makes it sound so much more severe than it actually is.
I think she went in with the role to play. Like, she took
Yes.
this as an acting role. Because, girlfriend, she is, like, going for it. I mean, she even does the cough. Like, she's remembering she has to cough because she has asthma.
Right.
We all should feel bad for her. And she sneaks in so nobody knows she's there. She doesn't want to make a big scene.
And I love it wasn't until like I think 4 people went in and saw she was there, and then like Ariana was like, she's here.
yeah.
Exactly. Like, she didn't even want to tell anyone she came back because she wanted it to be like, oh, let's feel bad for her.
The drama.
Do you think that helped her case? Because now she's seemingly safe and appears a little weaker almost.
I think the drama helped Omarosa's case because why would you get her out when you know you're going to get her out? It's just like, what's the point? I mean, we're always going to have an Omarosa target. Like, let's go after a Shannon or a James, you know, when they might be harder to get out. But Omarosa, why would we get her out?
Right. She's that like good medium target where it's like she's always going to have a target on her back. Get her out when it's right, not when you just...
Not the best competitor.
And we all want to see what kind of drama is going to unfold. I bet the house guests want to see what kind of drama Omarosa is going to unfold.
She just
Which
keeps
is what I
dropping
want
little
Shannon
nuggets.
to say,
Everything,
though.
I know.
Because I want to see that clash.
I know. Well, I think there's a chance if she wins the veto that she would stay. And I think there's even a chance for them to spin it to get James out just by the dialogue that's been going on in the live feeds. I'm thinking that there is a chance they could get one of them to win the veto and keep the other one in the house. But it's going to be really tough. It's going to be like a meta world peace situation where he's going to be like, all right, just vote me out.
Are you a live feeder?
Oh my, I'm like the biggest live feeder. It's embarrassing. Brendan and I have it on 24/7 in the background. It's ridiculous. We cannot get enough of it.
Yeah.
And Brendan will be he works at UCLA, so he'll be at UCLA, he'll call me and be like, oh, did you see that? And I'm like, no.
We'll get to live feeds in a second because we do have an exclusive clip from the live feeds that isn't out there yet that we're going to take a look at.
That's good. And this live feeds has been so entertaining, you guys. If you're not watching, like, honestly, you're missing out because it's so good, right?
Meta is hilarious.
CBS All Access, you go sign up and you get access to all the other Big Brother seasons. So you can go back and watch season 12 and 13. Binge them. All right, more fan comments coming in. Sarah says, Shannon is the bigger threat than James. Hope she goes. Omarosa needs to go too.
There's one up here that I wanted to. Oh, Jaina says, how do you think it will work that the jury isn't sequestered?
I think that's a really interesting question because it's going to be like the first few seasons before season 3 when they weren't sequestered. However, it's not as long as a season and everyone kind of knows each other, so they're not going to go in the diary room. We haven't seen them going in there yet and talking, you know, game to each other or like against each other, right? They're not like, she's stupid. So I'm thinking that it's going to be okay, and they're really smart, especially, like, I watch Ross. You know, he's so smart in there. He's like, she's lovely. We just want to make sure she's okay. So I think that they know they're playing the jury, too, which is really smart.
Well, I think it's also, like, in a normal season of Big Brother, you have 75 to 90 days to get to meet somebody, learn them, really get to know them. In this short amount of time, those episodes and those diary room moments can actually maybe help inform your decision at the end.
100%. I really think that's true. I think it's going to help inform the decisions. I also think we're going to come out and see the results of the whoever wins is going to be because of who the people like the most.
Right.
Yeah.
So when Keisha went home, she dropped this bombshell about Shannon. Do you think that that affected Shannon's gameplay? And for those of you out there who haven't seen it, let's roll that clip.
And to James, I want you to know that I have nothing to hide and nothing to conceal. I did the dirty work of Shannon. You were not my choice. Well, you were our choice. Let me be honest. You were our choice. However, know that this is not an alliance. Just know that. And I just hope and wish you all the best. And, you know, play this game and go hard.
She, in our post-eviction chat, she called that her ammunition. She was giving them, they have the gun, she was giving them the ammunition to load into it.
Do you think she's going to put her foot in her mouth when she goes back and watches?
I think it was a great Big Brother move, great entertainment, but not smart because there's no reason for her to call out Shannon.
Right.
Shannon was in her alliance originally, and why is she trying to break up Shannon and James? Like, they're not going to be swayed at this point by Keisha or anything Omarosa says for that matter.
Right.
I think they're too, like, smart, and I think they're already a twosome, you know what I mean? I've noticed that people are playing in pairs in the house right now, and it's really interesting to see, too, because the only people we have that don't have a pair are Meta and Mark. So I think that's really
so
interesting.
true.
I wish that they would try and recruit them to create a new
The
crew.
smartest thing to do this week would be for Omarosa to grab Shannon and James and just be like, listen, this is it. We need to grab a crew, grab Mark, grab Meta, and like they'll have the votes and go against Ross, Marissa, Brandy, and Ari. And I mean, I know that Ari's in power, so it's a little bit more difficult right now. But if they don't
could get
do
the
that,
votes.
right, they'll get the votes. And if they don't do it, they're going to really have a problem because the four of them are running the house.
That's why you're the queen,
Yes.
because you see the things that we don't
And
see.
Josh has called out that Meta isn't a pair. He has his owl.
Oh, that's right. Good point. Good point, Josh.
That's
All right,
amazing.
moving on to live feeds. We have a very funny exclusive clip here from the live feeds that is just like, it just shows you how anything can get anyone excited in this house because all you have to entertain yourselves is each other. So check this out.
We got a vacuum.
Excited.
They just called me to the storage room and this was just sitting there.
I'm so excited. A vacuum.
No, it's not the rainbow.
But it looks nice. No.
I don't want that.
This is amazing.
For your seasons, what was like that moment for you guys? Like you got something
my
in the house that you were
gosh.
like, oh my God.
The camera, when we get to take our own pictures, the camera every week, you're like throwing a party because it's Friday, there's a camera coming, you're so excited. I mean, honestly, when we have to clean, like nobody wants to clean, but you are excited to have something to do because you have so much downtime.
I don't think people understand how dirty that house gets. I mean, there's been an ant problem multiple times in the
Cockroach
past.
problem?
The cockroach problem. Is it really that exciting to get a vacuum? And why don't people want to clean?
Okay, I think we don't clean because we're just like, oh, I'll clean it later. Oh, you get into this
You have
mentality.
nothing but time in that
right,
house.
you have so much time. I'll do my dishes tonight, you know? Like, I remember I was like, I'm gonna be on a schedule this season, on season 13. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna work out. And then you wake up and you're like, I'm gonna have some coffee and sit here. And then it's noon and you're like, I didn't even brush my teeth yet. What am I doing?
It's interesting too because Ross's reaction getting the vacuum is even him playing the game.
Yes.
He's like, oh my God, it's so exciting.
That's
and
so
he
true.
makes it this thing.
Yes, that is 100. And I think for Marissa, it was genuine.
Yeah.
But I think for him, it was him playing the game. Yeah.
So the live feeds bring us funny moments like that, but they also bring us drama that's not seen on TV. And there's this whole story that hasn't really been explored on the show.
But I love it.
Of Brandy's maybe partying a little more than we're seeing. So this is from, I think, the first night of the girls talking about the brandy of it all.
The brandy.
We're talking about Brandy.
No,
Brandy.
she just said, well, they hate you anyway. They hate you anyway. Brandy said it to me.
Who said that?
Brandy said it to me.
Okay, that's
about
not true.
them. They hate you anyway. They're sending you home anyway. So why can't I say? Brandy said it to me about the guys. So I walked by the camera and said, Simon, I'll talk to you soon. I'll be calling you next week.
They don't even. That was.
All right, so basically, like the backstory is that first night they had a lot of alcohol, which is usually kind of not given to the BB House guests.
Never.
But they had a lot. Maybe Brandy pulled out her old Real Housewives tricks and was saying a lot of stuff to a lot of people.
A lot of stuff. Yeah, she was saying a lot more than a lot of stuff. She was telling them who's gonna go after who, like what she thinks about them.
Which she is the
Being
only person in that house who has played Big Brother before, but the UK
true,
version.
How do you think having alcohol at your fingertips this season is affecting the game? Is it nice to have? Is it maybe not so good?
I'm jealous because I think it would have taken so much pressure off of me. We got like at 8 o'clock at night, we would get like one bottle of wine for 10 people. So it was like one glass and we would fight over it.
Yeah.
And so this year they're getting like all this alcohol, like they have whatever they
have
want.
a bar.
Yeah. So I think it's fun for them because they get to be more like loose and more themselves.
Sure.
they probably forget more about the cameras, you know? I think so. It's great. I mean, give them more.
It's
Big
funny you
Brother.
bring that up, though, because I remember very vividly a season where people actually are fighting over
Yes.
alcohol. Like, they're hiding it and being like, where'd you put the bottle of wine?
I think it was even
How did you
last
guys
year
drink it?
there was
it last
drama
year?
with Jess and
Oh,
everybody with the
100%.
wine.
We used to hide beers in the HOH like refrigerator so that nobody would take them so we could have them the next week.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
What these people will do for alcohol.
All right,
You
want
don't
to
understand.
get some more of your guys' commentary. Z says Shannon, James, and Meta all the way. That's going to be interesting. We're going to play a little bit of my interview with Keisha after this, where she also talks about Meta. Stacy says love Ross and Marissa. And let's see here. Cheryl just wants to check in on you. How was your baby?
Thanks, Cheryl. She's so good. You can follow me on all this social media, like for Adora's stuff. I post pictures all the time.
All right.
Are you thinking more babies?
So right at like about 2 years, you do start thinking about more babies. And I think we really, really want another one. It's just kind of this timing right now. Brendan's doing a postdoc. So we're like, should we wait a year? Should we go for it now? Because then we'll have a baby in a year. So it's kind of all up in the air. But definitely another one.
What do you do if your child grows up and is like, Mom, I want to go on Big Brother?
Oh my God, I'm gonna be so excited! I'm training her now. She already won a gingerbread competition this Christmas. Oh yeah. We're like already doing all the climbing with her. Every day I'm like, Adora, you're gonna win Big Brother one day.
Born to do it. Born to do it.
Yeah, born into Big Brother royalty.
Yeah.
All right, so ET is your home to exclusive Big Brother content for Celebrity Big Brother. So for the next couple of weeks, we're getting the only exit interviews right after they talk to Julie.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
And we're saving some fun stuff for these live chats we're doing, including this Fast Five with Keisha. Chuck's just went live on ET Online, but check out everything Keisha had to say about her time in the BB house. Our eviction Fast Five.
Okay.
Who will win this show?
I think Meta could win. He slept the whole season. He slept the whole time, and he's completely under everyone's radar. And I'm like, he's the champion. Don't be deceived by Meta sleeping and being silly.
So maybe it's a whole cover-up for him.
Right. I think that they're sadly mistaken if they underestimate him.
All right. Who is the worst house guest?
You know, I'm not going to say that about anybody. I feel like everyone has their idiosyncrasies, everyone has their quirks, but that's also part of the fun of it. Like, we had a lot of fun with, like, Mark does this, like, shuffle thing that I made fun of a lot of time, but it was all in love and in humor.
Well, yeah, we saw you leave that house and you kind of said to everybody, I want everybody's information.
Yes, yes, yes.
Who is your friend for life out of this game?
Do you know what's crazy? Probably Omarosa. I told her she's not going to be able to get rid of me now, but there are plenty of people. Marissa was very sweet, as well as Ross, and you know, there's so many. Like, I promise you, it sounds crazy, but I feel like I will have a very special connection with each and every house guest because we shared such a unique experience, and I took something from each one of them. Not took, but they taught me something. Every last person in that house taught me something, and I'm very appreciative to have had the journey with them.
Yeah, only you guys have been through this.
Only us, and we're the first. So no one else is going to be able to really comprehend, and I'm really excited. We've already talked about like our group chats and all of that, and I just can't wait to, you know, just continue to bond and build the relationships with everybody.
All right. Now, what is the strangest thing you saw in that house?
There were so many odd things. I mean, we did a whole telenovela skit on a we entertained ourselves thoroughly. The phone call things we would do, we just always had fun, and I do appreciate that. Like, we literally, like, there were on the floor, there were different kind of color squares, and we made up our own, what is that game, what is it called, where you put your hand on the...
Twister.
Twister. We made our own Twister in the Big Brother house, and it was so much fun. So we just made up all kind of games.
You guys were very innovative. All right, and if you had to boil down your Big Brother experience into one word, what would that one word be?
Unique. Very unique.
Unique. So my takeaways from that, she says Meta is a secret player, and she did say he's a champion, I mean, in basketball, so
Right,
maybe don't count him out yet, but...
I disagree with Meta, but I mean, I think he's gonna just go home just because he's like, I want to go home.
Yeah, he'll be an easy get out.
An easy get out for sure. But I think Marissa. In my book, I think Marissa wins the whole thing.
Okay, yeah.
We wanted to ask you, there's a lot of rumors, speculation out there about season 20 potentially being an all-star season.
I
And
would die.
Dan Giesling has told me he thinks you should play again.
Oh
Julie Chen has told me she wants to see you play again.
I thought you guys were talking about watching it. It would be amazing to watch.
Would you go back in and play an All-Star season again?
I mean, I would love to go back and play an All-Star season, you guys. I love Big Brother. I don't really have anything to prove, but I would love to just be in there with all these newer house guests and be like, you guys, like maybe coach them or something. But I don't know. I mean, it's hard with the baby, but I would love to. I would love to watch an All-Star season.
Who would you want to play with if you could pick 3 house guests?
So Vanessa for 100%. My sister, obviously.
Yeah.
Because I never played with her. And then I think maybe like a Paul. And I would love to see Paul in a third time. Go ahead and hate haters. But I would love to watch Paul on one more time. And I think he could pull out the win. I mean, third time's the charm, right?
I would love to see a Rachel and Paul alliance, like a friendship alliance.
Ooh, maybe, I don't know.
All the friendship.
Seriously, though, I would love to watch that.
All right, I
Those
think
are good players.
we're going to wrap things up here. We are hearing that the live feeds are very active right now, so maybe head on over to CBS All Access to check those out. Maybe Omarosa, James, and Shannon fighting. So
This is what we wanted.
That's very exciting. Make sure to like ET on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter, everywhere, so you don't miss when we do these live recaps. We're going to do another one next Wednesday with another special Big Brother guest, so you don't want to miss that. Any final words?
Just that Jason says, yes, Rachel and Paul friendship. Jason, 100% with you.
And just go follow Rachel all over. You can see
Yes.
she's going to post some fun stuff today,
I
apparently.
will, of course. So at Rachel E. Riley Viegas on Instagram.
Yes,
There we
love
go.
it. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.